Knicks Nation, today is Wednesday, the 6th day of March 2024. I hope you're safe and healthy today. I hope your family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, water, clothing, as well as health, food, shelter, clothing, as well as health, which includes water, are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are trying to save lives, and those also that pick up garbage for us to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People who are also victims of pornography and child pornography. People that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on those who profit from these things. And double curses on the perverts that help create the demand for these things. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night. The New York Knicks lost to the Atlanta Hawks, 116 to 100. And last night's game really, in my view, highlighted the reasons why the Knicks really miss the guys that are out, namely OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, especially these three. And it also highlights the importance of Jalen Brunson. Last night against the Hawks, if you look at the stats, very close, the stats. For example, the Knicks shot 16 of 52 from three. So they put up 52 threes and hit 16 of them. The Hawks shot 10 of 31. So they only put up 31 threes and only hit 10 of them. If you want to look at a glaring stat, is at the free throw line. The Hawks went to the line 23 times and hit 18. The Knicks only went to the line 11 times for the game and hit 8. Only 11 free throw attempts. Now, sometimes you might say that's on the refs, but I don't think it was on the refs last night. The Knicks just weren't getting in the paint. And this is a key. The points in the paint last night. Well, first of all, the Knicks got out rebounded 51 to 40. But on the offensive glass, the Knicks won that battle 17-13. So, yes, we could have used some more rebounds, but we can't expect Josh Hart to be getting 18 rebounds every night. But this is where, to me, the key that they lost the game. Points in the paint. Atlanta had 56 points in the paint, and the Knicks had 40 points in the paint. See, two of the things offensively and defensively for Tom Thibodeau's teams is defensively, stop your opponent from getting touches in the paint. And offensively, you want to get touches in the paint. These are two basic principles, tenets of Tom Thibodeau's style of play in pro basketball. So when you have a Jalen Brunson, and I don't think I'm exaggerating to say, he's got elite level footwork. And because of his elite level footwork and his craftiness, he's consistently getting in the paint. Okay? Julius Randle, for all of the chucks of the threes he might do, the power and speed and quickness he displays in getting in the paint puts pressure on the rim. Mitchell Robinson, and most of the time, not last night, but most of the time, Isaiah Hartenstein put pressure on the rim because they're close around the basket offensively, and they're a threat to finish when they get the ball down there, strong. Okay, so these three create a situation that opens up good looks for guys like DiVincenzo from three, or OG Anunoby. Of course, OG Anunoby also brings a roughneck lockdown defense. Last night, the Knicks could not bring that at the level they wanted to. For example, Alec Burks, and I know some of y'all think I'm picking on him, but these two bums cannot play defense. And the Knicks have to play them because we don't have enough bodies right now. So last night, Burks goes 1 of 7 offensively. And he's minus, I think he's, what was he? He was like minus something. But he's consistently being beaten on defense. And when he's not bringing you points, He's really a net negative all the way around, and he was last night. Again, I'm not blaming the loss on him. I'm using him as an example. You replace him with Shake, you'll get defense. Okay, Shake just came in last night. I was hoping he would play, but I should have known better. Tibbs likes every guy that's not Josh Hart or Derrick Rose to get some practices in before they play. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So he's going to want Shake to get a practice in. He's going to want Shake to work with the team a little bit before he plays. And that's probably why he didn't play last night. He was situational, but I don't expect that to last as long as Julius is out and OG is out. So the points in the paint killed us. That was it. That was the ball game right there. And I was looking for it, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I watched the whole game, and I don't think the Knicks had one sequence where they got 3 stops in a row. They didn't have one. Okay? Especially at the end, because Bogdanovich is the weak link defensively, and they were attacking him. They were attacking him and causing him to be having to make his rotations, which are always going to be slow, and attacking him, going at him off the dribble, and that was a problem. And that's what was getting them in the paint as well. And then, of course, Hartenstein, he just wasn't himself again last night. I'm hoping that as these games continue, he gets more and more closer. He was really himself Sunday, but he wasn't last night. When Mitch Rob comes back, the combination of both of them is going to be good again. And people are arguing who's going to start. That's stupid. As long as they both play at a high level, that's what matters. Okay. And so if we get Mitch Rob back and he's being Mitch Rob, that will help Hartenstein become Hartenstein, and they'll both play, and they'll both be a force, and they'll both put pressure on the rim in the paint. Very important. So last night, those were glaring things. We did not have Brunson. We did not have Jew, so we couldn't put pressure on the paint. Okay, that was the problem. When the Knicks are hitting their threes, they don't need that. Okay, when they're knocking down, when DiVincenzo's knocking down 6 threes and Deuce is knocking down threes, then they don't need that. Because then they're hitting their threes. Well, last night, they shot 31% from 3. Now, Atlanta only shot 32% from 3, so it ain't like they were killing us. But the paint, when you're not shooting your 3, the paint becomes all important, okay? That is why once our guys get back, starting with Brunson, once you get Brunson back, and then you can bring back hopefully OG or Jew, whichever one come back first, you're going to now put pressure on the paint. You're going to raise your defense. And now the 3-point shooters will get more opportunities. Now, the good thing, again, that has come out of this stretch where the Knicks have not had, 3 starters at times, 4 starters out, at times. When they haven't had this, what's come out of this is the rise of Precious and Deuce. Because those 2 guys are going to help in all of these areas. They're going to help 3 points. They're going to help rebounding. They're going to help defense. Okay? And you add that to OG, Jew, and Mitch Rob, and you got something. Now, right now, it's a dogfight. The Knicks are statistically tied for the 4th seed. Orlando, I got to give Orlando their props. Orlando, I didn't think they had the experience. They were up in the standings like as high as 2nd seed in the East earlier in the season. But I didn't think they would have the experience to maintain that. I didn't think that was sustainable. And for a while, they was down. But when the Knicks got all the injuries, and that's part of the game, Orlando has taken advantage of it. They're 8-2 in their last 10, and they're now tied with the Knicks for the 4th seed. And technically, they're ahead of the Knicks because I think they own the season series also. So, but it ain't over. It ain't over. It's a dogfight, but it ain't over. Miami is right there. Miami's half a game behind both of them. Philly is right there, tied with Miami. And Indiana is game and a half behind the Knicks, and they're in the 8th seed. So it's a dogfight for positions 4 through 8 right now. Cleveland has separated themselves pretty well. They're now, 4.5 games ahead of the Knicks and Orlando. But again, this ain't over yet. Okay, it ain't over by a long shot, by a long sight. We got 20 games. But I'm hoping we can get that's why I was hoping we can get our guys back by the 8th of March, because I felt like we can hold the line until then, and it might be tougher, and it is going to be tougher. But having Brunson back, And getting Shake Milton is going to help because now you can get more defense, you can get more touches in the paint. And that's going to be very important. And I'm hoping, really hoping, that while we're waiting for Mitch Rob to come back, we can get Hartenstein more consistently at the Hartenstein level. Again, last night he kind of disappeared again. Okay, he kind of disappeared. We didn't get the diving on the floor hustle, Charlie hustle from that 5 spot that we normally get from him. The Knicks were battling offensive boards though, but they just weren't getting enough points in the paint. That was the problem. And part of that was, of course, they were relying a lot on the 3-point shot. And as funny as it is, Bojan Bogdanovic kind of showed us a little bit on Sunday. Well, if you notice, he was missing from 3-point range. So what did he do? He went mid-range and he started scoring more. Mid-range, okay? I think he scored 19, but it was mid-range. Offensively, I thought that's what the whole team should have focused on last night, trying to get more touches in the paint. Deuce. He did have 9 assists last night. The Knicks had 27 assists, which is a good number, especially when people were out like that and they were missing so many shots. Deuce had 9 assists last night. But I wanted more paint action, getting into the paint, attacking the paint, putting pressure on the rim. And that's a Tom Thibodeau staple. So they weren't doing that last night. Tom said, I think he said after the game, they should have shot more threes. They shot 52 threes. I don't know how they were going to shoot more, but they could have got more in the paint. And so I'm looking for, once Brunson, just the return of Brunson is going to help that, because Brunson's game is predicated on setting his 3-point shot up by getting the footwork, getting him in the paint. Okay, and so that's important. When we get Jew back, it's going to be on there, because then we're going to have Jew. Even if only those two come back, we got Precious coming off the bench with Deuce. You still got Jew, Dante, Hartenstein, Hart, and Jalen Brunson, and you'd have Precious and Deuce coming off your bench still, along with Shake, and now you got some defense coming off the bench. So, and it's, that would be, just that will help us better. But let OG come back, and you let Mitch Rob come back in his own. So I'm hoping that within the next, right now the Knicks have played 62 games. There's 20 games left. I'm hoping we can get our guys back for at least the last 17, 18 games, because this whole race is going to come down to the last week of the season. It's going to be a fight for the first 4 spots, especially until the last week of the season. And so everybody is a dog fight right now. You're going to see who's playing their best ball in March. And I think the Knicks are set up to do that if we can get our guys back. We got good reports yesterday from Begley about both Jew and OG now clear for basketball activities. And Jew is taking some contact now. So I'm really, they may not be back Friday, but really they need to be. They will be back next week. I'm very confident both of those guys will be back at some point next week. And if you look at the Knicks schedule, I know we play Orlando this Friday. That's going to be a tough one for us because again, even if we get Jalen back, that's going to be a tough one, because we got to get some paint action. But I'm hoping between the 2 Philly games and the road trip that starts next Thursday at Portland, we should have both our guys back. And if we get both our guys back for the road trip, I think we'll be in very good shape then. We'll be in very good shape then. And I don't know about Mitch Rob, but I'm really expecting him to be back before the middle of March. So maybe on that road trip we see him as well. When we get those cats back and they start putting pressure on the paint, you're going to open up Dante. Now you're going to have Deuce in sets, not starting, but playing in sets with Brunson. Then you're going to have obviously Precious coming in and playing in sets with OG. We're going to be all right. Okay, we're going to be all right. So hang in there, Knicks Nation. It's going to be tight. Right now it's looking a little tough, but the Knicks are just on the precipice of getting back. Last night's game showed we need Brunson, we need Jew back, and we all know we need OG and Mitchell Robinson. So that's why we lost that game. But we got other games to come. It's coming down to the wire. We in the thick of it. Let's go. Y'all enjoy your Wednesday. So.